Okay, hi. Oh, super fast intro because I always forget to do this, but in case you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Megan and I'm an artist. Anyway, Anime Expo was the first convention I ever attended. I was in the 8th grade and my uncle took me back in 2008 with my sister. And ever since then, I've gone every year. One of the first things I remember, or two things, was Artist Alley and cosplay. I remember thinking I wanted to be 18 years old so badly so that I could start selling at Artist Alley because I loved drawing and I loved drawing anime, but I also thought, whoa, cosplay is so cool. You could dress up and it's Halloween like in the middle of the summer, and that was freaking amazing to my little 13, 14-year-old brain. However, I got way too into cosplay instead because Artist Alley was really hard to get into for whatever reason. I never knew when to apply. I never knew what the rules were. Cosplay was just so much easier for me to get into. But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, and I finally got into Anime Expo Artist Alley at the ripe old age of 31. I'm still young, whatever. So in past AX, because I was so hardcore into cosplay, I would spend the entire month before the weekend just making cosplay. Now that I've sort of aged out of like wanting to do cosplay and stuff like that, that didn't stop me from wanting to make cosplay for my cousin.
So I was supposed to be preparing for Anime Expo, but I spent the whole month making this. We did Takumi Alley a couple weeks ago. And my car is still packed from that event. So I don't know, I'm chilling. Do I need to prepare?
Okay, so day 0, we took it pretty easy. We stopped by the local coffee shop to get some caffeine and some breakfast, and then we drove on over to the convention center. I forgot to drink my drink the entire drive because I was yapping too much, and I know I'm not gonna drink it while I'm setting up. So, that's where we're at. This was my first Artist Alley after wanting to get in for the last 13 plus years or so. The biggest catch is I have absolutely no fan art. We finished setting up pretty early since I only had like 8 things to set up, and we were off to a strong start.
Day 0, slumped already.
After getting absolutely winded, we went out for dinner with some friends and rushed over to the market to grab some snacks for the weekend.
2 for $3 deal.
Yeah.
Chocolate soy milk.
4 packs for $6, and all of these snacks under $20. All we do is win.
Yeah.
They upped the parking from 27 to 32 today. 32 buckaroos.
All right, y'all, big reveal.
Hey boss, Hermes at your service.
Right now, we're inside the parking garage. As you can see, there's a huge line forming from like as it's going down, and that's the entrance. Right there's the entrance. There might be a fire in the lobby. That's what the person at the front of the line said. That's what they told them as to why they're not letting anybody in. But anyway, we're here in line.
I thought maybe it was just a bad game of telephone, and maybe it was just that the fire marshal was inside the lobby of the convention center. But turns out an exhaust fan belt caused a motor to smoke and filled the entire lobby with smoke. So we made it inside, ready to start the day.
Wait.
Our spot was just a few tables down from a very popular artist, so a huge line formed at their table, which ended up blocking my table.
The AC is working.
A little too good.
So that was cool, I guess. I mean, you know, what can you do? I spent a lot of the downtime writing my booth number on every single business card that I had in hopes that people will come back to my table. So did it work? I don't know. Maybe it did.
Day 1 complete.
Since it's the first day, it was known to be pretty slow. We ended with about $660 in sales. Not the best, but you know, you work with what you got. Day 1, right? All right, day 2, starting strong. I definitely don't have the stamina of a 20-something-year-old anymore. Since it was July 4th weekend, there was a decent crowd, and we actually ended the day with $1,498 in sales, which was pretty significant compared to yesterday, and probably the best day out of the entire weekend. Not to foreshadow anything, but that's kind of what we ended with that day. We had a holiday dinner out in K-Town celebrating the 4th of July to whatever capacity we can. And we watched some super crazy fireworks happening across the street at a Korean church. There were fireworks happening all throughout the night, and the next day just ended up being super smoggy. Day 3. Day 3 was the Saturday of the convention, which means we were anticipating a huge crowd of people. My friend Sang saw how my table was kind of boxed in, so she let me borrow her extra poles and helped me build up. Our display was slowly upgrading, which was awesome. I brought a label printer this time to print out my table number onto every single business card. This thing was super useful. I highly recommend, especially at a big show like Anime Expo. Not only did I get the NPC SpongeBob character that I wanted, we saw Connor from Trash Taste streaming with Iron Mouse slowly stroll by our table, and we totally didn't freak out.
Oh, oh, yeah, what's up, guys? Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. I love your artwork.
Very cute.
That's so sweet.
I also totally didn't sprint after Hassan to take this picture. So that was cool. We ended day 3 with $1,223, bringing our total to $3,381 so far. I didn't do better than yesterday, but it's probably because Saturday was just so crowded with people, and like all the famous people were there too. So, you know, I mean, I would say I won Saturday just because I got to be on stream and I saw Hassan, so that made up for everything. That just...
What? Day 4. I'm tired and I don't want to do this anymore.
Day 4 was pretty slow as per usual since it closes a lot earlier. I got to walk around the entertainment hall with my husband a little bit and go shopping, spend a little bit too much money. And I even ran into some familiar faces that I haven't seen in many years that I used to see all the time. We ended Sunday with $739, bringing our grand total for the weekend to $4,120 at the largest anime convention on the West Coast with absolutely no fan art. Oh man, what was I thinking? Was this good? Was this bad? Compared to my first year at Lightbox Expo 2023, I made over $10,000 in sales. Granted, I did spend like $13,000 manufacturing everything. So, you know, the scales are tipping. My customers tend to be returning since I sell in the greater Los Angeles area for the last 3 years. So well, what can I really expect? You know what I mean? So you usually come back to my table, I saw you at Lightbox and I already bought everything that you had, kind of a thing. So I'm coming into this show with the same exact inventory minus maybe like 4 new things that I have. And you know, yeah. Despite such low numbers, I still had a ton of fun at Anime Expo. I hope I can return as a vendor again in the future because that was really fun. I love connecting with artists from across the nation. But yeah, those are my closing thoughts. Anime Expo, I don't know if it was a success. It was definitely a learning experience. Being a purely original artist with absolutely no fan art at this show was quite a learning experience. So maybe in the future, we can take a crack at the fan art. I don't know, we'll try, we'll see. But I'm really tired. I'm gonna end this video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.